Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughan, First Hand Sports Report. Today's date is Monday, June 12th, 2023. We'll start with the NBA and Micheal Potter Junior. Today we're going to talk about Micheal Potter Junior. Although he's recruited number one player in the state, he was one of his best player in the country. He was rated a lot of people expected him to go 1-1 in the draft. I also couldn't find this video, but when it started for Missouri at his time, we're getting tickets. After that, it seemed like Conzo Martin would do well at Missouri, and it was good hiring. Even Micheal Potter Jr. and Javante Porter Jr.'s dad came to Mizzou. Even his brother came. In the first game of the season against Iowa State on November 22nd, 2017, in his first game against Iowa State, he hurt his back. On November 22nd, 2017, Porter had successfully completed a meniscus tear of a spinal disc. His injury to the number one player in the country came within 2 minutes of the Missouri Tigers season. Even though the Tigers were a team who was an 8th seed and had a better season than a lot of the seasons Missouri has had, Missouri made the tournament for the third time Missouri hasn't won a tournament game in 2010 until this year. Javante Porter, whom was Micheal Potter Jr.'s brother, had enough credits to graduate from high school. In fact, he was the best player on that team.
As Micheal Potter Jr., their number one overall recruit, expected to be one of the top picks in the NBA draft, in fact, is now done for the season. Spinal disc surgery down, only played a couple of minutes, and that could be the totality of his college career.
Yeah, really unfortunate for a kid that wanted to come into college and wanted to impact the collegiate landscape, win a championship for his program, and really help turn Missouri around. You hope, Chris, that he can get healthy, get to 100%, and get to the league. But we'll see if that actually can happen this year.
Yeah, when I was at Duke in 2011, we had a similar situation with Kyrie Irving. Now, he had played 8 games. He had more of a body of work. But the question of whether or not to shut a guy like that down, who's obviously going to have a tremendous pro career. Kyrie's was a foot injury. He ended up coming back because he wanted to play in the NCAA tournament. In the case of Porter, when you're talking about a back, you guys know you can't mess with that, especially with a guy who's going to have a tremendous future, make a lot of money playing this game.
Yeah, a young kid with a back injury comes up, and you really wonder going forward if he's going to have the body of work to still get drafted where you thought he would. I mean, his brother reclassified Javante Porter to play with him this year. His dad's on the bench. It's a family affair. You wonder, would he actually come back another year if he doesn't have the requisite body of work and the workouts don't go as well as he may want when he gets healthy?
Yeah, what are the odds, you think, Chris, he actually ends up coming back for the season? I think most expect he's just going to go to the draft.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, this proves that this can be fleeting. I mean, injuries can happen. And he will still be taken high because of his body of work in high school and what people have seen. So, I mean, if I were advising the kid, you got to go, man. Again, you're going to make a lot of money. Somebody's going to take you. I wouldn't mess with it, especially with a back.
In that 2019, Javante Porter would turn, but on October 21st, it was announced that he would miss his sophomore season due to an ACL-MCL turn while rehabilitating. Porter tore his ACL on March 23rd. Despite the injury, Porter entered his NBA draft as a 233 early participant, including a 2019 NBA Combine Javante. But he was not drafted. I'm pretty sure he injured himself in the SIU scrimmage. Porter, when undrafted, who said, but signed with the Memphis Grizzlies on November 22nd, 2020. The Memphis Grizzlies announced that they had re-signed Javante. Your contract on July 30th. He was waived by the Memphis Grizzlies after making 11 appearances in the season. Javante. The Tigers did make the tournament in 2020, missing the tournament after 2 years. His brother had left. Conzo Martin was never the recruiter that Missouri hoped he would be, and by 2021, he was out of a job. In his final season of his Tiger, the Tigers won a horrific 12-21 and 5-13 in conference play. Some people thought that Conzo Martin would fix the Missouri Tigers. Instead, he did not. So if you want to include the best that ever was, you could include Micheal Potter Junior, Javante Porter, and also Conzo Martin. Now Micheal Potter Junior is a very good player, the third best player on the team, if not then the fourth. Speaking of the Nuggets, they play for their clinching final first ever national NBA championship. The Denver Nuggets have a chance to close it out in front of their home crowd tonight. Players to watch out for star Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, one of the second best players in the game on the team, Micheal Potter Jr., and Aaron Gordon. The Heat have Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Gabe Vincent. We're going to, of course, Game 5 is tonight with the Heat needing a must-win to keep their season alive. Game time is at 7:30 and 6:30 Mountain Time and 8:30 Eastern. We'll cover more. We'll talk about the NHL for a brief second. The Knights have a chance. We're just previewing. We'll talk more NHL tomorrow. We said looking for their first NHL championship. The Las Vegas Knights have gone to the NHL Stanley Cup before. In just 6 seasons, they have 2 conference championships, including this season. In the MLB, a little sound off for the Royals. But let's first get to the Cubs. The Cubs are off today after winning their series, but losing yesterday 13-3. The Giants avoid the sweep. The White Sox are off today, losing 6-5 and losing the series yesterday. The Cardinals are continuing to struggle. Everyone thinks they're going to come alive, but seems not to happen yet. So far, the Cardinals lose the series. Losing 4-3 yesterday. They lose 2 out of 3. The Royals lose again yesterday, losing all 6 road games and outscored 41-14. You know, you have lots of problems when you have lost 106 games back in 2005, and on this year you're on pace to lose more games. Now, I have a question. Why is Jordan Lyles for the Royals? He's 0-10. And let alone, why is he in the rotation? At this point, who cares who has the most innings pitched for the Royals if he's giving up that many runs? I mean, he's getting his butt kicked every time he's out there. That's Sam Vaughan Smack. He's only made it through half of the season, and you may have to eat his very expensive contract if you can't trade him. I'm sure no one's going to be able to take him, and if they do, you're going to have to pay most of the contract, and that's what you're going to have to do. Also, more Royals news. Royals DAF Michael Bradley Jr. to assignment, which means anybody can sign him, and recalled Duran Blanco. Blanco is in left field starting batting 9th Monday night against the Reds tonight. Bradley was 33 years old. He batted just 133 and just 1 home run in 43 games this season. The 2016 and 2018 American League Championship Series MVP with both Boston in his lifetime, hitter 225 with 109 home runs and 449 runs batted in 1,181 games for 4 teams. Blanco, who come over from the Cubs in 2016, got 7 at-bats in 5 games for the Royals. At the end of the season last year, he went 2 for 7 in a run and 2 RBIs. He is slashing at Omaha 347, 444, and a 451 slugged. So 370, 47 average, 444 OPS, and a 451 slug. With 47 stolen bases in 49 games at AAA Omaha this season. The Royals will have Zach Greinke on the mound, and the Reds have Luke Weaver, who has struggled mightily this season. Just a reminder, we may be doing a little bit of preview over towards the Vikings schedule, players to highlight, as the Vikings cut Dalvin Cook last week. This is Sam Vaughan for Sam Sports Report.